All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dion's Daily Dose. Uh, we have been out of it for a minute. I know. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of stuff that has happened, but I'm going to save that for another video. Uh, what has happened recently is we've had several events that I really enjoyed. The first was, well, not the first, but the most recent, the last couple, were the Republican Party Christmas party, yeah, for this year. And that was at Silver Palace. It was a really good time. I enjoyed it. During that, we were able to hear from a number of candidates who announced their intention to run for either election or reelection. So I wanted to fill you guys in on that. We also had something that I found very, very interesting, and it was a comment by some state senators for the redistricting. I want you guys to pay close attention to this. I tried to get it up before I started the stream, but unfortunately I was a little slow. I didn't get to it in time, but that's okay because I can find it very, very quickly. In the meantime, what would you guys say is the most interesting thing? Let's see. Let me find the right thing. Is the most interesting thing that you've heard someone say as far as the reasons they didn't vote for redistricting? Sorry, guys, I was bringing this up. There is a particular point that I want to show you guys, and it was from State Senator State Senator, I forget his first name, Niemeyer. And the reason I said Randy is Randy Niemeyer is related to him, but it's like kind of distant. It's like cousin something. They share the same last name. I thought the senator was his uncle. So when I was talking to him about it, I'm like, that must make Christmas kind of awkward, right? Because obviously, if you guys have been paying attention to Randy Niemeyer ran for District 1 last election. And if you guys have been watching his Facebook and other social media, he talked about how he was in favor of redistricting and why and all of that. But regardless of how you feel about redistricting, let me show you guys what I'm talking about here, because this, at least to me, was a little odd for the reasoning.
He tells me he does not believe his vote against remapping Indiana is something that the voters will hold against him.
Yeah, he doesn't see a problem. Okay, and that's perfectly fine. To each their own. But
the Indiana State Senate sending shockwaves across the political landscape Thursday with a defiant 31-19 vote against new congressional maps that President Trump had been pushing for.
Now, this is Senator Niemeyer. This is not Randy. This is Senator Niemeyer.
The dialogue on the other side was very strong, and it was a tough decision. I've been a Republican all my life, supporting Republican principles, and it was a tough decision to do.
He wants you guys to understand that he's a Republican, and he's been a Republican all his life. Now, here's the most interesting part of this speech, interview.
That I made the right decision that I needed to make for myself.
He made the decision that he needed to make for himself, not for the voters, ladies and gentlemen, not for the people of his district, not for the state of Indiana, and certainly not for the benefit of the nation. No, once again, he made this decision because it was best for him.
That's the process.
He says he won't lose any sleep over his vote.
I was confident that I made the right decision that I needed to make for myself.
For himself. So in case there was any doubt, you guys should know what his priorities are. Okay, let's get into the interesting stuff. I find that interesting, but for those of you guys here in LaPorte County, Indiana, or other parts of Northwest Indiana, the thing that happened, so the party was a few days ago, and then last night there was a meet and greet / fundraiser. I was mainly interested in the meet and greet part, but it's for a candidate for Secretary of State, and the name of the candidate is David Shelton. Just so you guys know, I'm going to run through this real quick, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you guys information on each of the candidates and how you can learn more. So I got an opportunity to hear from Mr. Shelton. I got an opportunity to hear his plans for Secretary of State, if elected. And it's very interesting. It is very interesting. But let's start with much more local. So we have a couple of people who are going to be running for judge. John Link, that's L-I-N-K. John Link. He is currently the magistrate. He is running for, let's see here. I believe for Superior Court 4. Now, one thing I will give him, and I didn't even know this was a thing. So apparently I forgot my glasses. You can watch Indiana court live stream. So check this out. This is actually pretty cool. If you go here and you put in the old googly, you put Indiana court live stream. Oh, I got my caps. Whatever, but you get the point. And then up here, the first link is here, Indiana court streams, and then it's a drop-down menu where you pick your county. Now, some of them don't show up. Some of them are on, but again, publiccourts.in.gov. If you go back here, Indiana court live stream. Let me move me down there. Indiana court live stream, Indiana court streams right here. And then you can go choose your county, LaPorte, and then it's got the various court live streams. Judge Link was the one, or Magistrate Link right now, is the one that told me about this, and he does it Monday through Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. You can watch live. Why is this important? So you can see what kind of person he is. You can see what kind of judge he is, and you can see, is this someone that you want to have the position for long term, or is it super short term? Yay! Looks like I finally got my Rumble comments working. Thank you. Freedom Patriot Network walked me through how to do it. It was incredible. Massive help. So now you guys can actually watch on Rumble and interact. That's always been a problem. They recently, I guess, integrated. It's still a little more work than other destinations, but it works. Woohoo! Thank you. So apparently, at least that I know of, he's the only one that is running for that, at least so far. Now, again, filing hasn't opened yet. These are early announcements. For Superior Court 3, Kurt Ernst, which you guys have met before if you watched the show. I did an interview with Kurt when he ran last election. And he's running this time for Superior Court 3. And another announcement is Guy DiMartino. Now, let me show you guys what I was able to find here. So the only thing that I have for John Link is, at least right now, if you put in John Link for judge, that's again Link, it'll pop up to his Facebook. This is his campaign Facebook. So you have an opportunity to learn about him, ask him questions, all of that. Also running for that spot, Superior Court 3, is going to be Guy DiMartino. Now, those in LaPorte County are familiar with Guy because he is currently the attorney for the commissioners, and I didn't even know he was a Republican. So he says. Now, Mr. DiMartino has a website, and it is guydimartino.com. So you guys can go there. There's some links. There's not much on there about me, but there is a blog and there is a phone number. So that's cool. Obviously, there's a lot of legal type stuff. Cool. But I do think this is a great way to get to know his law mind. So cool. Both of them, Kurt Ernst and Guy DiMartino, are both running for Superior Court 3. And as I've said before, we'll try to get them on the show, have a conversation, give them the opportunity to talk directly to you. Not everyone's comfortable in front of a camera, but moving on. For District 1 Congress. So look, guys, the Indiana Senate said, we're happy with the way things are. We want things to stay just the way they are. So District 1 is District 1. It is purple. No, it's blue. It's probably going to stay blue, but props to the people who are running. I have 3 people who are running for District 1 that I know of right now in the Republican primary, and that is Jennifer Ruth Green, Barb Regnitz, and Jim Schinke. So Barb Regnitz has a website, barbregnitzforcongress.com. Got the video, got the cool, it's a very nice professional site, or as I can tell. I noticed she features Trump in the video. I think she's riding a Trump train. I don't know. She is currently one of the Porter County commissioners. I've known Barb for a few years, and when I say no, I mean I've met her at events when I've gone to them. We'll get more into this as it gets closer, but she is now running for Congress. Jennifer Ruth Green. Now, she ran last time and did very, very well. Good for her. Or time before last. I don't know. Yeah, time before last. Anyway, she was the public safety officer, public safety secretary. There's a whole thing with that. I'm not getting into that right now. Again, we'll get more on that right now. I'm just telling you guys who's running for what. And then we have Jim Schinke. If you put in Jim Schinke for Congress, he has a website, so you guys can check him out. And there are some interesting things with him. There is apparently he got arrested, and he's got another thing. Allegedly, he violated not a restraining order, but it was a protective order. Okay. Now, his claims are that the other guy did it and that he's the victim. I don't know. And then something about his bus hitting something. Guys, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, here it is. Apparently he backed over a lamppost. So just FYI. All right. So District 2, the only one I know of right now is the current incumbent, Rudy Yackham. Haven't heard anything more about that. Now, District 4 Senate, for state Senate, the current office holder is Rodney Pohl, right? You guys know that. And we have Nate Oldricks and Johannes Pollard so far that I know of that have announced they're planning on running. Now, a little more local, LaPorte County Commissioner, District 1. Now, if you guys have watched the show, you know I'm not a huge fan of the current office holder. But last night, Joel Florek, who ran for District 9 in the last elections, has announced that he's going to be running for commissioner, District 1. So right now, his website is still the District 9 race. But if you go to voteflorek.com, you can learn about Joel if you're interested. The other stuff, guys, realistically, is all just stuff that I've been able to discover via Googling them. The other people running. The prosecutor, Sean Fagan, he announced that he's running for re-election. Again, we'll talk more about these people and how I feel about them later. Right now, I'm focusing on giving you guys the tools that you need to learn more about who's going to be on your ballot, because primaries are important, ladies and gentlemen. You guys need to know who's on the ballot, who they are, what they're about. Our current sheriff, Ron Heeg, is running for re-election, which I'm personally glad about. I like Ron. I think he's doing a good job, but we'll get into all that later. Now, so we talked about Joe Florek for District 9, right? Chris Cleveland is now running for District 9, and it's no longer Pat Boy, which I got to give Chris. So his announcement at the party last night was that he was running, or night before last. Yeah, because last night was the meet and greet. Guys, man, It's been a lot. And we've had a lot going on. So you'll have to excuse my mix up of days. But you guys can learn about Chris Cleveland. You got to put Chris Cleveland, Indiana, because it does pop up. I guess there's another like non-Indiana Chris Cleveland. And he's like really, really famous. Yeah, apparently he's an actor. I had no idea. Learn something new every day. But if you put in Chris Cleveland, Indiana, it'll pop up. It'll tell you local Trump supporter running for State House. Chris Cleveland on Facebook announces candidacy. So there you go. You can learn about him. He was the Chicago Republican chairperson. And then LaPorte County Council. Here's what I know so far. We have Ray Maloney, who's running for, or going to be running against, Mark Yagelski. Now, Ray doesn't have any social media presence. We've talked to him about this. We've said, look, guy, if you're going to run for office, you gotta get some social media. He's not a fan of social media, but he understands that that's how people are going to get in touch with him. So he's working on that. He is getting some people to assist him with that. Ray's a very down-to-earth guy. I've known him for a few years. We're not like, close personal friends, but I've met him. And one of the ways that I recommend, especially if you live in Michigan City, for getting to know him is attend it's the Michigan City Conservative Action Group, MC squared AG, right? That's one of the best ways I can think of. And they meet the first Thursday of every month. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave, I didn't see your question. Dave says, do magistrates have to have lawyer experience? Now, that's actually a phenomenal question. I don't actually know. Let's see. Do magistrates need law degrees? Let's see. Well, let's say have to be lawyers. Let's see. According to AI, which holy cow, but let's see. No, magistrates are not always required to be lawyers, though requirements vary significantly by jurisdiction. Let's try in Indiana. Yes, in Indiana, it requires magistrates to be admitted to the practice of law in Indiana and bars them from practicing law while holding the office. They are full-time judicial officers handling delegated court functions. So that is interesting. Some specific court magistrate roles may require additional experience, ergo 5 years of practice, family law experience for Marion County, etc. Good question, Dave. Thank you. All right. So every Thursday at Sugar Bowl in Michigan City Conservative Action Group meets, and it's either 8 or 8:30 a.m. You certainly can't go wrong by getting there a little early, but Ray Maloney, he attends, I believe, every meeting, or at least every main meeting. Their main meeting is the first Thursday of every month. That's when you can go and make sure that the most people are going to be there and also learn what they're doing. And I know I've talked about these guys before, but I want to give a major shout out to these guys again, because they are actually doing stuff. They're not just bitching on Facebook. They're not just making videos talking about how stuff sucks. They're actively gathering people together and making change. They're holding town halls. They're holding their elected officials accountable. They're actually trying to get things changed. And Ray Maloney is one of the core members of that, especially in the Michigan City area, in trying to get stuff changed. Their biggest thing they're talking about right now is property taxes, because in Trail Creek, it has gone up by 60-something%, guys. It's insane. Moving on. We learned that Jim Pressel III is going to be running for election. He's the incumbent, but he was he filled the seat via caucus. So this will be his first public election. And yes, he is the son of Jim Pressel, the state rep. Now, John Watson is going to be running as well. He's going to be running for Justin Keel's seat. Justin Keel is moving on to bigger and better things. He's in, I forgot exactly what he's studying, but he's in university, college, whatever you want to call it. He's really taken off, man. He's leaving this backwater dump to move on. And you know what? I just want to say this. Justin, while he's in college, has been flying back and forth to make sure he doesn't miss any council meetings, guys. We're losing in a good one. Like, seriously. All right. Secretary of State's office. Now, you guys know the current office holder is Diego Morales. However you feel about him, David Shelton has announced that he is running, and so has Jamie Rittenauer. Now, Jamie Rittenauer ran for governor previously, and I saw a weird thing about, let me see if I can find it. Something happened with no, I don't see it now. Something happened with a debate or something that was going on recently with the Highland Republicans. I don't know about how that went down, but apparently there was a town hall that was scheduled, and then she says it was actually a debate, not a town hall, so she didn't come. I don't know. Now, those are all the people that have officially said, I'm going to file. Now, there are rumors out there, but we here like to deal in facts for the most part. I mean, I like a rumor just like anybody else, but I try to tell you guys when it's rumors. Now, rumors say that Jamie Oss, current judge, is going to be running for re-election in Superior Court 1. And I thought there was something else, but that's all I got. I don't know for sure if she's going to be running for re-election, but that's what the rumor is. I have not heard it from her. I will say I haven't seen her at any functions since she got elected, so I don't know. It's unsure on that. What do you guys think? Who are you most excited about? Is there anyone that you're looking forward to meeting? Is there anyone that you want to talk to? I've heard a number. I've heard you guys, right? So people have been asking, are you going to be interviewing these people? I can only interview them if they want to. If they don't, and we've had it to where, especially locally, there are people who love the show. There are people who don't. And so there are opinions, right? And people get in their feelings and they're like, oh no, they don't want to be on camera. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give everyone the opportunity. If you are a candidate and you would like to have a very informal, frank conversation, get the opportunity to talk directly to the voters, I would love to have you on the show. You can email talk@DionBergeron.com. Email talk@DionBergeron.com. And just let me know that you'd like to be on the show. Love to have you. There it is at the bottom. Heck, couldn't find it. Please, love to have you on the show. For those that, for whatever reason, don't want to or can't appear, we will be doing our best to give you as much information as possible. Sure, you guys can go to Ballotpedia, but it's kind of dry. And I like a little more personal touch on people that are going to potentially hold a lot of power over your and my lives. That's just the way that it is. I really hope that people will take the opportunity to become educated about those that are on your ballot. And I don't just mean people running for U.S. Congress or president or senator or stuff like that. Learn, guys, I cannot emphasize to you how important it is to elect the right people locally, whether that's in your town, in your county, in your state. Please educate yourselves. And that's the entire purpose of why I do this. I want you guys to be informed. I want you to know who you're voting for. I want you to know what policies. I'm not perfect. I can't spend 24/7 learning about these people. But what I can do is I can present to you the information that I find so you don't have to go digging and you can spend your time either learning more that I haven't presented or going, okay, cool. I either like this person or don't like this person. Make an informed decision though. Learn about them. That's all I want. It doesn't matter to me if you guys love a candidate, hate a candidate. It doesn't matter to me, right? What is important to me is that you guys know who you're voting for. There are so many guys. I worked elections for a short period, and there are so many people that come in that either don't know who's on the ballot at all, or just pick a name they recognize, the first couple of people on the list, or they'll have a list, right, that someone else gives them. If you want to bring like a note in and, learn about people, mark it down, you can do that, but make it yours. You do your research. Don't have someone else pick who to vote for. Vote for the person that is best for you, that represents what you believe, what you're into. I hope that is clear. It was so frustrating when people would come in and they don't know who's on their ballot. They don't know what's going on. They haven't done any candidate research at all. And that's the downside of, I would say, the two-party straight ticket voting, right? People don't research at all, especially let's call them diehard R or D. It's both parties, guys. They just come in and they vote straight ticket and they don't know anything about the people on it. I know that there have been people that have gotten elected that should not have gotten elected based on who they are, but because they were this or that political designation, they rode the wave in. It's unfortunate, but it happens. I want more and more and more of you to learn the people that are on your ballot, and please vote in the primaries, guys. I know in Indiana, yes, you go in and you either pull a Republican ballot or a Democrat ballot in the primary. And I know there are people that think you should be able to vote in both, and you should be able to do this, and you should be able to do that. We all have our opinions on the way things should and shouldn't be. But the way that they are is that you go in during the primary and you can pull either a Republican or a Democrat ballot. There are very few restrictions on whether you actually are or not that political party. Let's make sure that you learn who is on that primary ballot, pull it, and make an informed vote, guys. I'm a huge fan of knowledge. I love knowledge. I love learning about stuff. I love learning about people. And I've made my mistakes too. I've voted for people that I've regretted voting for. But at the same time, I try to make sure that I know before I go in. That's all I'm doing is I'm trying to give you guys some information. Now, all of that aside, for those of you that are here for the political stuff, that's pretty much it. I'm going to fill you guys in now on kind of what's been going on and where we're going to go from here. So we had a number of deaths in our family. My grandmother died. My mother-in-law passed away. My nephew. We've had a number of people that have passed away recently, and we moved from Michigan City to LaPorte. We took some time to kind of unplug and unwind a little bit. My wife, as you guys know, some of you may or may not know, she is the secretary for both the LaPorte County Republican Party and the 463 GOP, which is the breakfast club that meets usually once a month, minus December. And then there's another one. I know we don't. Anyway, so she has been very busy, and I've attended functions as needed, but I really had to just unplug for a little while and kind of focus on family and time and getting the house fixed up and ready. And it's just about done, guys. Studios here. So there was a plan. Let me fill you guys in on my internet situation. So when we lived in Michigan City, we had Xfinity. It was okay. It was decent. We moved to LaPorte and we brought Xfinity with us. We also brought problems with Xfinity. And so far as my streaming software that I use just didn't like Xfinity. It liked it even less in LaPorte than it did in Michigan City. I was having buffer issues. I was having poor bandwidth issues. I was having tons of problems, even though cable internet, I had the best that was available. So I tried to sign up for Starlink because I have a friend who has Starlink, and they are very, very happy with it. Cool. Props to Starlink shipping. The actual device, the dish, was here in maybe 3 days. It was boom, right here on my doorstep. Trying to get them out to install was a nightmare. So you got to wait till the dish comes in before you can properly set up your installation. But I did. Okay. Got the dish for sure. I'm ready to go. And they're like, oh yeah, you could still use it. Not in my situation, which I'll explain shortly, but I set up my installation, right? My installation date. It was on a Monday. They contacted me the Friday before to say, sorry, we're not going to be able to make it. We need to push it back. Okay, fine. They push it back for a week. They contacted me the next Friday before to say they were going to reschedule it again. I got all the emails and stuff. I'm like, again? 3 times they did that to me. I finally said, you know what? I can't do this. And the reason why I can't just use it, because people are like, well, just set it up, right? They even said in the email, you can set it up and use it until they come for the permanent installation. Without the pole to get it up there, I got poor reception here. Like I get on the one side of the house was like 50% coverage. On the other side was like 34%. So it wasn't great. But if I could get the pole up, it would miss the tree, blah, blah, blah. Not good. So I couldn't use it until they installed it, and they wouldn't come out here to install it. Good. So I went with Surf. Now, Surf is fiber optic, and it was supposed to be like 8 gigabits per second, 8,000 megabit per second. Up and down. Fiber optic is supposed to be incredible. So far, I've been really, really happy with it. I'm not seeing any issues as far as the live streams go. I've ran a couple of tests that so far are good. I was really hoping that I could get this Starlink thing going, because I was going to do a direct Xfinity to Starlink comparison. And I was planning on doing the same thing with Surf. But by the time I got Surf installed, Xfinity was coming due. And I was like, you know what? There's no reason for me to pay for 2 different internets. I mean, I don't got it rolling, guys. I mean, I'm just like y'all. So I'm like, yeah, we're not going to do that. I should just be happy. So let me show you guys what kind of speeds I'm getting with this. Now with Xfinity, I was signed up for the 1.2 gigabit per second plan. And the best that I would ever see was around 200 Mbps. But let's go. Here, let me show you guys. Boom. Speed test. I like to use Ookla, and then I also like to use Cloudflare. Ookla. Let's see. Watch it prove me a liar right now. There we go. Look at that.